All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim El Shai Bashim Rakah Kadash. I'm about to get into this lesson about who was basically Simeon in Antioch, right? Now, I think it's the brother Lamontazah Shalom to that brother, or Shalom to you, brother. I think you brought out the video a couple of days ago about, this not being Peter, but I think you said this was basically Simon the Canaanite, right? Now, let's just keep in mind this before I go into this. Now, I'm going to use the precepts. Of course, I'm in the blue letter. But let's just say this is not Peter, right? It's definitely not the Canaanite because, do research. Some scholars believe this was a Canaanite. They believe this was a Syrian, okay? But if you research the name Simeon, because we have to go precept by precept. If you research the name Simeon, it's actually an Israelite name, okay? And the word nigger just means black, right? So we about to deal with all this. We about to break down the name and everything. Now, mind you, Simeon is one of 5 of the prophets that would name, or Salakia. Simeon is a common name amongst Israel. That's basically what I'm saying, okay? Simeon is now there's different Simeons or Simons, okay? Peter was one of them. I believe the guy who it was a guy named Simon, who was Jesus' relative, so on and so forth. So it's used interchangeably, right? Just like I now will give you an example how the Bible is written. Like the scholars, they use like different. They will say the same. They will use the same prophet, but call them different names, such as Paul and Saul. You see that all throughout all throughout Acts, where, even when Saul got the vision on the road to Damascus in Acts 9, he is still called Paul and Saul in certain contexts. See, in Acts 9, you see he's called Saul, right? All throughout there, right? Brother Saul, you see that right there. In Acts 9 and 17, for example, says, Brother Saul, right? The Lord, even Jesus. This is talking about Paul or Shaul, right? Then you go to Acts 10. Then you go down to Salakia. You go to Acts, not in 10, but you go to Acts 11, for example, and he's still called Saul, right? Acts 12, yeah, you go all the way down, still called Saul. So he's calling Saul even after his interaction with Christ on the road to Damascus. Saul. It's a specific verse I wanted to get. So you see, in Acts 9, they're calling him Saul, right? Now, mind you, I'm trying to get where they use Paul, because I know it's in the earlier chapters. Also, hold on. Let me put this down. Salakia. God's glorified. Saw. Dang. Now, understand this. It's called Paul. In Acts 15, there you go, Paul. Now, his name is changed to Paul, right? Now, the reason why this is important, because you got to understand, I don't even think, according to research, God did not name Saul Paul. Really, it's just a translation. You see what I'm saying? It never said, your name's going to be Paul from this day forward. in Acts 9. And I'm using this for a reference for an example, right? So you read the story on Saul's on the way to Damascus, right? Now, after Damascus, they still calling him Saul. Okay? And this is very important to know because this is how the scholars wrote it. And not Eula Montezah specifically, but a lot of people just, they'll see like a typo. Like, for instance, the word Easter in Acts 11 or Acts 12. The word Easter, it's a typo in there. Okay, that's a typo. Or what we call a typo. It's a misprint, I would say, because they didn't have typewriters back then, or typewriters or computers. So, but we know that this is talking about the Passover because it says because he saw it was pleased. This is Acts 12:3. This is when Herod was killing the Jews, right? It says, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. And then you hear the little you got the what you call it. It says, then were the days of unleavened bread. This is the days of unleavened bread, which they say in Acts 12:4 is Easter, but we all know that's a typo. So it depends on how the scholars and also the language back then, how they use words and everything back then. So this is scholars. This is okay. So I'm using this for an example. So when you go to Acts, 11 or Acts, 11, 12, 9. You can go to Acts 13. But let's go to Acts 12. You see, you go all right here, and this is when Peter got locked up, right? And the angel released him. But you see in Acts 12:25, it says Barnabas and Saul. Okay, now this is Paul. But in 3 more verses ahead, right, in 15, it says, when therefore Paul and Barnabas had no dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostle and elders about this question. So this is talking about Paul the Saul. Okay, it's the same people. Perfect example, Acts 13:9, right? And I didn't even see this at first, but this is a perfect example. This is gonna sum it up. It says, then Saul, who is also called Paul. It's the same people. Okay. Now, let's just say let's deal with the topic at hand, right? Simeon Peter. Let's just say if he's not Peter, okay, which it doesn't even say if he's Peter or not. It doesn't even say he's a Canaanite. But once you go into the blue letter, matter of fact, let me read it before I go into the blue letter. It says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, and Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger, right? Now, keeping the word Simeon, okay? We're not dealing with Barnabas, okay? The word Simeon, okay? In the outline biblical usage, it says Simon, hearkening, the second son of Jacob, one of Abraham's descendants, the one who took the infant Jesus in his arms in the temple, a teacher at the church of Antioch. And the last definition is the original name of Peter the apostle. Okay, so this is giving you examples, and it's Simeon. It's used 6 times. Simon Peter only 1 time. Okay, Simeon, Shimon, the name of 5 Israelites. It was only 5 Israelites called Simeon. Okay, now keep that in mind. Now let's just say that this is not a Peter. Okay, I would throw that in there, and I will agree because it doesn't say if it was Peter, and it sure don't say it was a Canaanite. Now, some scholars would say he was a Syrian or the Cyrene, right? But it don't even say that. It don't match him up with the Cyrene, and the reason why they get that because Acts 12, I believe it's Acts 12. It might be Acts 11. Yeah, Acts 11. Shalakia. Peter came, Saint Peter Acts 11. Was it 12? It might have been 12. Where it says the serene. It might have been 12. Hold on. No, because that's dealing with, it might be 10. Hold on. Shalaki. I'm just trying to get to the precept. Where is that precept at? It's 11. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to be 11. 11 and 7, I believe. Dang. Oh yeah, okay. This is Acts 11 and 19. I knew it was in 11. It says, "Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen traveled as far as Phoenice and Cyprus and Antioch." Okay, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only. Now keep this in mind. It says none but the Jews only. You have to keep the context. So when they was in Antioch, they went to nobody but the Jews only. And it's the Jews scattered abroad, right? The bloodline of Judah. Okay. Now, Antioch is Syria, okay, which is in the Middle East, okay? And some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene. Now, the reason why in Acts 13, some scholars would say that Simon the nigger was a Cyrene, because they're comparing, because Cyrene, I believe that's in Libya or whatever. But you have to understand this. Even, I'm gonna read this article about that, okay? About Simon the Cyrene, okay? Let me get it because I already had it. Hold up. Yo, dang, I always miss a spot. Hold on. There we go. Simon the Cyrene, okay? Now this is the website called davidkosobucky.com, okay? Go, feel free to research yourself, okay? This is okay, anyways. I'm gonna read this little part right here. It says, if we check out Acts 11 and 19 through 21, we find that the church in Antioch were where we first met nigger, okay? And it just means black. For all you triggered people, it just means black, okay? It's Latin for black. That's all nigger means. It doesn't mean an ignorant person. And yes, it's offensive to people who don't understand, but it just means black, okay? Now, I'm not saying, now on another side note, I'm not saying let people disrespect you, but I'm just saying it just means black. It says, was founded by men from Cyprus and Cyrene. So here is another connection. Nigger is not said to be from Cyrene in Acts 13, but he's not said to be from anywhere. So Cyrene is a good possibility, considering he was a leader in the church founded by Cyrenians, okay? So keep in mind, it says nigger is not said to be from Cyrene in Acts 13. You got to keep that in mind. This is what scholars is putting together. Now, this could be Simon Peter. They could be using in Acts 13. This could be Peter, because the name is, synonymous with Peter. But let's just say if it's not Peter, it's still an Israelite. This is not a heathen. This is not a Gentile. This is an Israelite. Okay, only 5 people was named Simeon. Even the disciple of the Canaanite. He was a person in Canaan. He was an Israelite. Let's go to Matthew's. I believe Matthew's 10. Hold on. Right there. First Simon called Peter. Not that one. Simon the Canaanite. Right there. The Canaanite. It means zealous. Okay. The surname of the Apostle Peter. Okay. Zealous Canaanites. And epithet Canaanite by mistake for a derivative form or by mistake for a derivative from G. Oh shoot! Now keep that in mind. Hold on. Where was that? Okay, right there. Canaanite. Now it says I didn't even pay. It's easy. You learn something every day. So notice it says right here, and when it says Canaanite, it says by mistake for a derivative from G5477, where it speaks of Canaanite. That word Canaanite is not talking about an actual Canaanite. That's why it says by mistake for a derivative from G47477, which if you go to G477, the word Canaan means low land, the land of Canaan, in a narrow sense, the part of Palestine lying west of Jordan, of the Jordan. Okay, and also the word Canaan, it just means low land, and it's in Israel. Okay, or Palestine. Okay, but it says the early names of the Palestines. Okay, it's literally Palestine, which is in Israel, same land. But it means lowland though. So either way you look at it, these are not Canaanites. Okay. Or by I'll say like heathens by blood. Okay, I will say that. Now you have people arguing like, oh, it says Canaanite, so we're gonna keep it Canaanite, but you don't pay attention to fine lettering though. It says by mistake for a derivative. The word Canaanite in this context means zealous, Canaanites, and epithet. What is this? What is epithet? What is epithet? Let's go. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But let every man be a liar, right? An adjective, descriptive phrase expressing a quality, characteristic of the person or thing mentioned. Okay. What is an epithet? Example, a descriptive word or phrase, especially one joined by fixed association to the name of someone or something. So just was basically it's expressing the quality of the characteristic of that person. Okay, he was zealous. All right, in this word, in this sense, Canaanite in this particular context, it just means zealous. It doesn't mean, it's not the same from the land of Canaan. It's not saying low land. Okay, that's where when they talk about Canaanite, they usually talking about people from that region. Okay, but he was a zealot though. Who was the zealots? Okay, who were the zealots in the New Testament? Okay, the Zealots were a political movement in first century Second Temple Judaism. They were, bro, listen to what it says, bro. And this Wikipedia, of course, I don't only use Wikipedia as a source, of course, but this is a quick and easy way to get to something real quick, okay? And Wikipedia is not always wrong. You can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay? And it's not always right. That's why you have to go to different sources, just like the Blue Letter. The Blue Letter is not the only source. Actually, it's a watered down source. It compared to other scripted, I would say, Strongs, which were made by black scholars as well. They've got more stronger Strongs out there. Stronger Strongs with a double entendre. They have more powerful Strongs out there. Okay, made by the actual people that was actually there, and also the New Testament was not written in Greek at all. The oldest writings of the New Testament was in Hebrew. Keep that in mind. So the Zealots were a political movement in first century Second Temple Judaism. Notice now, of course, we know is no such thing as Judaism. That's the white man's version of, bro, because they put in everything religion, because temple, so on and so forth. But notice it's connecting everything to Judaism, right? It's the temple, which sought to incite the people of Judea province to rebel against the Romans. So these were Jews that was zealots, basically. Okay. Now you have